Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the New Force Order presents From a Certain Point of View. I'm one-third of your host, who's vacationing right now.
With the shittiest Wi-Fi on the face of the universe.
Yeah, shittier than the Brooklyn Wi-Fi that we usually have. Oh, God. I am one-third of your host. I am the Greek God Papadon, your boy GGP. Alongside with me, I have a medical droid and a Sith Lord. And today we're bringing you the debate show, if you will, of the New Force Order, calls from a certain point of view, where we tackle a certain subject and we give our two thoughts, our 2 cents and our thoughts on it. So without wasting anyone's time, boys, introduce yourselves real quick.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am the Darth Lord of the podcast, the Sith Ari, the Rampaging Reverend Kiss, the Butcher, your boy Spiro, a.k.a. Darth Spiridon.
And I am smarter than 2 and be more technical than FX7, the God of Steel and Thunder, Dr. Destroyo, Alex Arroyo.
Now, the good thing about Star Wars, ladies and gentlemen, is we watch something today, it means one thing. We watch something, the same thing tomorrow or 2 weeks from now or 2 years from now. It takes on a whole different meaning. Now, it's either evolving or it's just changed due to the way time has passed, whatever the case may be. But that's the point of this show, just to hit everything from every different angle. So what are we talking about tonight? Well, it's very simply put. Some individual decided to go on the interwebs and proclaim that every Star Wars movie was mislabeled, titled incorrectly, and that episodes 1 through 9, not including Rogue One or Solo, were improperly listed the way they were originally intended to be titled. So, without any further ado, Doc, smarten up the marks. Let them hear what we're talking about right now.
All right, so we're going to go to...
This is why every Star Wars film has the wrong title. What happens in Episode 1? We meet Anakin Skywalker, the Rise of Skywalker. Years later, we find out that Palpatine, leader of the Sith, have ordered an army to destroy the Jedi. Revenge of the Sith. In Episode 3, Order 66 happens and the clones attack. Attack of the Clones. In Episode 4, Obi-Wan teaches Luke that it's time for the Jedi to return. Return of the Jedi. In Episode 5, Yoda teaches Luke how to use the Force. The Force Awakens. In Episode 6, both Yoda and Anakin die, which makes Luke the last Jedi. After the Empire is destroyed, a new Empire comes. The Empire strikes back. Come on, guys. In Episode 8, Luke trains Rey and then sacrifices himself to give the Resistance a new hope. Finally, in Episode 9, Palpatine returns from the dead, making him the Phantom Menace.
I just realized that I think this is Spiro with a high-pitched voice because he goes, "Come on, guys."
Dude, I was just about to say the same thing. I'm glad we're on the same wavelength here.
I think it was, nah, man, Laline, bro, not me, Laline.
Come on, man, it's Empire Strikes Back.
Listen, I'm just going to say this real quickly. I think this guy is very sadly mistaken. He's entitled to his own point of view. They're not his stories. They're not his movies. So he can't really, dictate what's right or wrong. He can just put his own point of view over and try to get himself over. And this thing has blew up like wildfire and has caught a lot of attention. So kudos to him. We're not hating on you, kid. And if
even Mark Hamill retweeted it and talked about it.
Yes, and if he wants to come on this show, he's more than welcome to. We can have him and have a good time and have a good discussion.
You know what, man? Talking about that real quick, and I'm sorry to cut you off. I think that Mark Hamill is scared to come on the show because he knows that I'm here, and if he comes face to face with me, the temptation to cross over to the dark side will be too powerful to resist. He won't come. He won't come.
I think Pop was talking about the guy who made the video, not Mark Hamill. Good luck getting Mark Hamill.
Yeah, we're not getting Mark Hamill. Disney owns his soul. You kidding me?
We're not getting Josh Hamill, the guy I went to high school with, who's now fucking who's a drag queen in fucking Tootsie's down the block in Manhattan. Anyway, so Pop, you're not buying it?
Not at all.
You know what? I like it. And I think it's kind of brilliant the way he broke it down and talked about it. Especially, let's just look at the original trilogy, okay? So he talks about the fact that Obi-Wan goes to Luke Skywalker to restart the Jedi. And it technically is the Return of the Jedi, which I understand. So that kind of makes sense. Episode 5... Yoda, Luke Skywalker, learning the Force. The Force is awakening, I'm buying it. Episode 6, Luke is the last Jedi standing, so he is the last Jedi. I mean, listen, he put some thought into it and rearranged these names pretty well, and the titles seem to kind of stick pretty good.
What do you think, Spiro, before I contradict his statement just on the original trilogy?
Listen, man, I'm going to say this. I like it, but this is the thing, you know. George Lucas wrote his movies. He understands why he gave them those titles, and those titles made sense to us back then. Then the sequel trilogy came out, and I get why these morons, even though they had no real plan in place, they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. The fucking titles made sense, but what this guy did, I think, is genius. And if these films all came out under those titles that he made, that he rearranged, he would not be wrong. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't,
Yeah, I mean, it's a decent ordering. It's a decent, explanation as to why it's there. And if we don't have any of the backstory, the back history that we have right now, the last 44 years. I think we'd be able to chew on this and bite it.
I think you're sadly mistaken, and I'll tell you why. What did he call episode 4?
Episode 4 was Return of the Jedi.
Okay, it can't be Return of the Jedi because Obi-Wan is a Jedi, Yoda's a Jedi, they're still alive, so the Jedi's still there. So it can't be the Return of the Jedi because the Jedi is already existing. What's episode 5?
Force Awakens.
Okay, the Force is not awakened because the Force has already been awakened in episode 4 when he recruited Luke to go to Tatooine. And he uses the Force to blow up the Death Star. So it's already awakened in episode 4. How can it be reawoken in episode 5? What's episode 6?
The Last Jedi.
Okay, The Last Jedi. Well, we know it's not The Last Jedi because in episode 5 it says, no, there is another. And we find out the sister's Force sensitive and just equally as strong. When Luke even says, the Force is strong in my family. I have it. My father has it. And my sister has it. Guess what? It's you.
Who has it? Who has
my
it?
sister.
Yeah,
So,
but she's not
right-
technically a Jedi, though, really. I mean,
Well, she's not, but not yet. But the point I'm trying to make is that the Return of the Jedi title. All right, let's go with the original titles. A New Hope. Right? Luke comes of age. Nothing's left on Tatooine. No family. No reason for him being there. He can finally start his training as a Jedi and fulfill the need of bringing back the Jedi Order. He's the New Hope for them to survive. So that's why it's called the New Hope.
Yes.
Episode 2, Empire Strikes Back. The Empire has a weapon that took 20 years to build. Gets blown up in one afternoon, right? Kaboom. So what happens? They're pissed off. Someone blew the spot, blew the WrestleMania main event. They need to get the pay-per-view buy rate back up. What do? They strike back. They get the Rebels unhorsed. They kick the crap out of the Rebels. They get their heat right before the good guy blows his comeback and wins the match at the end. Same formula, different genre. And then Return of the Jedi. That's a topic we're going to talk about in a future from a certain point of view. But it is the Return of the Jedi. Which Jedi? Jedi's plural. Jedi singular. Is it the Return of the Jedi Order in Luke? Is it the Return of the Jedi in Anakin Skywalker? Within, overcoming the Sith and Darth Vader and the Emperor. Who knows? That's open for interpretation. So there's the original trilogy. Now let's go to the prequels real quick.
Prequels.
Unless you guys want to retort and rebuttal.
No, I'm with you. I like your reasoning, Spiro.
it makes sense, man. Again, when the films came out and George titled them the way they did, they made sense to us, I just think that, like Doc said, that if we don't have all the backstory, the guy, it would make sense still, But you're laying it out for us, and we're seeing the vital details that we skipped. So, yeah.
So what's the prequel?
Episode 1, the Rise of Skywalker, because we're seeing Anakin go to the become a Jedi.
Episode 2.
Episode 2, Revenge of the Sith. For whatever reason, I don't know. Episode 3, Attack of the Clones. That makes sense. Order 66, Attack of the Clones.
So you agree with those?
I agree with the third one. I agree kind of with the first one as well, because it is the Rise of Skywalker, because that's the first time we're seeing a Skywalker.
Spiro?
Yeah, man, I agree too. That's when we start seeing the story develop of one Anakin Skywalker. So if it were to be labeled The Rise of Skywalker, it would fit, Revenge of the Sith, he said, was Attack of the Clones.
Attack
he wouldn't
of the
be
Clones,
wrong. Yeah, he wouldn't be wrong. But I think that Revenge of the Sith is probably the more fitting title, and it's the actual title. But he would not be wrong, though.
Who did the clones attack in the second movie? I'm just curious.
They were in the planet.
The Geonosians? The Geonosians?
Yeah, they attacked the Geonosians and the droid army on Geonosia.
It was more like the Attack of the Jedi, let's be serious.
Yeah, but the Jedi came with the clones. Oh no, the Jedi got outnumbered. Excuse me, the Jedi got outnumbered.
Came to save them, so it should be the save of the ass of the clones.
Listen, okay, this is how I'm going to debunk this person's point of view, and this is just my opinion. Again, this guy isn't wrong. We appreciate his point of view. Gives us something to talk about. The Rise of Skywalker can't be the Rise of Skywalker because to me, Skywalker's already there. Anakin Skywalker's already in the picture. He's already 10 years old. So what is he rising? He's not rising into puberty. He's not pulling a Darth Maul.
Mommy, I'm pitching a tent in the morning.
Are you an angel? Gush, gush, gush. But in all honesty, like what's really happening, right? We find out that the Sith has never died. So there's been a Phantom Menace who ends up being the villain behind the entire prequel trilogy because he's playing both sides, both the Senate and the Republic and the Separatists and
I am the Senate.
Exactly. So that's why it's the Phantom Menace, and we have Darth Maul, who's the apprentice. And like they said, there's always two, an apprentice and a master. And they've been hiding in the shadows. And we finally can get our revenge. We can reveal ourselves as stated by Darth Maul. So that's why the episode 1 is the Phantom Menace. Number 2, Attack of the Clones. Okay, Attack of the Clones means that the clones made an attack. Their first attack was on Geonosis. That was their first mission, their first appearance when they come to save the Jedi. He was calling it Revenge of the Sith. It couldn't be Revenge of the Sith because the army that was raised by Palpatine were the clones. And the clones were on the side of the Republic, not the side of the Sith.
Democracy!
They didn't turn heel to the third movie. So they can't be the Revenge of the Sith because they're still on the side of the Jedi that time. And then the third one, episode 3, it can't be Attack of the Clones because, okay, maybe it could be. That may hold a little merit because of Order 66. But Order 66 was a revenge plot by the Sith. So if you're looking at it from that point of view, then if it's a plot of revenge orchestrated by the Sith Master himself, then it technically is Revenge of the Sith.
Yep.
So
And
that's
also,
why I feel they're properly labeled.
They would have given the whole plot of the movie if they would have called it Attack of the Clones.
Well, yeah, of course. That as well, too. You know? So that's my point. I mean, you guys can chime in and disagree or retort anytime you want.
Listen, man, I think you're 100% right. But again, man, this guy... And he's not exactly wrong, but what I think here now is that he's going based off certain actions, not the overall like story arc.
Exactly.
So I see the errors of
I agree with you, Spiro.
my ways.
I agree with you. He's reaching big time.
Yeah.
Episode 7, Empire Strikes Back instead of The Force Awakens. I'm not buying that one. Episode 8, A New Hope. Because I guess, Rey's being trained in the ways of the Jedi. And then episode 9, The Phantom Menace, because of the fact that Palpatine was in hiding. All right, maybe.
All right. Spirit, you want to chime in? You want me to chime in?
Go ahead and chime in, man. I'm actually having some.
First? I talk first. Who talks first?
I'm not on first. You?
All right. It can't be The Empire Strikes Back for episode 7 because the Empire was dismantled 20 years, 30 years later. It is the First Order. It's a new regime. It's a new faction that took over and rose from the ashes of the
And
Empire.
Speaking of over.
Wrong show. Right? So that's that. Episode 8, The Last Jedi. He called it A New Hope. I see what he's doing there, but technically speaking, that wasn't The New Hope because The New Hope arose in the first movie of the sequel trilogy when there was an awakening within Finn and an awakening within Rey, which just adds to the Force Awakens moniker that was given to the movies. Episode 8, The Last Jedi, technically is true because Luke Skywalker sacrifices himself for the Resistance to move forward, which technically makes Rey the last Jedi because there's no other Jedis in the galaxy besides Rey. Now, Phantom Menace, can that really hold weight in episode 9? Technically, yes, because he was doing everything from the shadows, manipulating Kylo through different voices. Snoke was allegedly a clone. He made him. He was pulling all the strings. But technically, the menace wasn't him. The menace was the First Order through the Supreme Leader, which is Snoke at first, then Kylo. And he was sitting back in the cut, building his final order. And the final order was supposed to attack and be the ultimate destructional force in the galaxy. But it didn't happen because with Skywalker out of the picture, he thought it was the best time to attack. And with Ben Solo being Kylo and then turning back into Ben Solo and then Rey taking him out and adopting the name of Skywalker, that means that even though the last Skywalker died and Leia died, even though she wasn't by name she wasn't a Skywalker, but she had Skywalker blood, and Ben Solo, a Skywalker blood, but wasn't really technically a Skywalker, dies, and there's no Skywalkers left. The Rise of Skywalker rose because she adopted the moniker, she adopted the last name, and it continues because she's a Skywalker. So to me, I think they're perfectly labeled 1 through 9. I think this guy just took something that's about this big, maybe about an inch big, made it about a yard big, just to get himself over. But he wasn't doing it maliciously to bury Star Wars or bury everybody else. He was giving his own point of view, and I give him credit to him, because it spread like wildfire, and some of these marks agreed with him, some of them didn't, and some of them were just sheeple who just followed along. Oh, yeah, Lucas was wrong for all along, or Disney didn't know what they were doing all along. Are you kidding me? How much billions of dollars these people made off these characters? This guy made what? Nothing. Advertising revenue, maybe, off his tweet? Come on. Espiro, you have anything to say?
Listen, man, I agree with you 100%. Again,
this is the debate show, guys.
Yes, it is. Listen, it sounded great, but you know what, man? At the end of the day, bro, you showed us the error in our ways.
No,
he wasn't.
There's no error, dude. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
No, I understand, but there were certain points that I wasn't considering. You know what I'm saying? I fucking bit. I gotta be honest and say that I bit. I fucking agreed, and he was just going based on certain actions. But you know what, man? You can do that with anything. Man, you could take a Batman film and fucking Star Trek and call Batman Star Trek and Star Trek Batman based on a fucking fart and shit. I mean, So,
no, listen, in the day that we live now, in the time that we live now, anything can be taken, any sound clip, any sound bite, any clickbait video, and spin it to fit any narrative that you're trying to push. which is unfortunately what we call propaganda. Now, this guy wasn't doing it with any malicious intent. You know what I mean? Was he a little arrogant with his presentation? Yeah, but that's part of the entertainment aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the sell that he has to convince everybody that what he thinks is right is right. Does he have his own point of view? Yeah. Is it wrong? No, it's his opinion. So kudos to him. But again, nowadays you only need 1% of truth to make 100% of the people believe. When back in the day you needed 100% truth to make everybody believe, and nowadays it's not the case.
True story.
Huh?
True story.
Hey, I mean it is what it is. You guys have anything else you want to add to this from a certain point of view?
Negative.
I'm done.
All right, then let them know where they can find you guys at.
Find me at Dr. Dr_Destroyo. DSTROYO Instagram, Alex Arroyo Facebook, Alex Arroyo MD Twitter.
You can find me on Instagram, Spiro_A. Also, Darth_Spiridon, Rational.Rage. Find me on Facebook, Rational.Rage. You can find me on YouTube, Handsome Reaper TV.
You can find me at Greek Guy Papadon on Twitter, Greek Guy Papadon on Instagram, Demetrius Papadon on Facebook. Greek Guy Papadon is the YouTube page, and Pro Wrestling Tees / Greek Guy Papadon is a Pro Wrestling Tees store. You can find the three of us together at NFO_podcast on Twitter, New Force Order on Instagram, official New Force Order on Facebook, newforceorder.com. I'm sorry, New Force Order at yahoo.com is the email address where we want all you people to interact with us and email us regarding any one of the shows that we have. Tatooine, tell Doc what you want toys you want him to go over or review or smarten you guys up on. Our official show, tell us how great we are, how bad we are, who's moreover partake, and let us know who you guys think is better in the aspects of Star Wars that we're comparing. The Butcher Block, you want Spiro to go on a hellacious, vindictive Sith rant? Give him a reason why or a topic that he should touch base on. This show, a certain point of view, we cover a certain topic. You don't agree with us. You don't agree that what I feel is correct or whatever. You have your own opinion. Let us know what you think, and we'll come back around and touch base on it and let the people know. Or if you have a certain topic that you want us to cover, because you see something from this point of view, you know someone else who sees something from that point of view, you want us to give you our opinion, just let us know. It's newforceorder@yahoo.com. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for giving us your time, your ears, and your eyes. And go like all these videos that you've seen from the New Force Order on on YouTube. It's New Force Order. Hit the notification bell, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. And thank you for giving us your time. Here on New Force Order, like we always say, we're not trying to get ourselves over on Star Wars. We're looking to get Star Wars moreover with you. This has been another edition of the From a Certain Point of View, brought to you by the New Force Order.
For life.
And that's just too sweet.